What's going on, you guys? It is Isaac, and welcome back to another Storytime video. Before I get into this, please drop a like and subscribe. It helps very fucking much. And excuse the terrible gameplay. I'm very rusty to Black Ops 1 Zombies, but let's get straight into this shit. So this story time takes place in September of 2017, and it's about the time I got absolutely barred the fuck out of my mind and had a pretty wild night. Let's just say that. Now let's get straight into this. This starts off as any other normal school day. I'm showing up and I'm talking to some buddies, and this one guy I used to be friends with, he's a piece of shit nowadays, but that's not relevant. This one guy I used to be friends with, I'm chatting with him, seeing what he's trying to do after school, and he tells me he has some footballs, he has some Xanax, and he'd be down to pop some with me. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was actually my first time ever doing bars, and we decided to make a plan of it. We decided after school we're just going to walk home from school to his house, which is about 2 blocks away, and pop these bars. So fast forward to the end of the school day, and we start to leave school and walk toward his house. And halfway to his house, which is about 2 blocks from the school, there is a gas station. So our idea was to grab a Sprite and put the Xans in the Sprite and wait for them to dissolve and then chug it. So that is exactly what we did. We grabbed our Sprite and we made the trek to his house. Now, we showed up to his house and we immediately busted open the Sprite, took out the footballs, and we dropped 6 footballs in this Sprite. Now, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, that adds up to 3 milligrams. Please correct me if I'm mistaken. But we just kind of chill out, watch some YouTube, and wait for it to dissolve. Now, it finally dissolves and we start drinking on the Xanax Sprite. And I drink about 75% of this Sprite. He drank about a quarter of it. And after about 30 minutes of us sipping on it, we decide that we should go over to his buddy's house. So we do exactly just that. We pack up all our things and we start making the trek to his buddy's house, which was about a half a mile away. Now, I wasn't feeling it at this point because we consumed the whole Sprite, but the more I started walking to this guy's house with my buddy, the more it started to absolutely slap my soul. And I'd say right about when we started to get to his house, I was getting barred the fuck out. Now, we knock on his door, his buddy answers and says, "Hello, come on in." I don't know why the fuck I just said hello like that. I don't know why I did. Anyways, he lets us in, and at this point, we're already barred out of our fucking mind. And we walk straight through his door, straight past the living room. I made dead eye contact with his mother sitting on the chair, and I just proceeded to go straight into the basement. Now, we get into this basement, and let me tell you, this was very fucking uneventful, because what we did is we sat down, my buddy fucking KOs on this guy's couch, and I'm just sitting there with this guy I don't know, and I'm nodding in and out of consciousness. Now, this guy who let us come over to his house, shout out to him for letting us have a place to cool off, and I feel bad for him because I was trying to have a conversation with him, but I kept drooling on myself and passing in and out of consciousness. So I don't know what the fuck we talked about, and my buddy's over here KO'd on his couch. And eventually, after we're laying around, just being barred out of our mind, and this guy's awkwardly sitting here bone sober, we decide to pack up our things and go to someone else's house. So my buddy says he has another place we can go ahead and chill at. So we say our goodbyes and we start making the trek to the next location. Now, when I stepped outside of this guy's house, let me tell you, I was barred out of my fucking mind. At this point, it was early. It was about probably 4 or 5 p.m., but it was September time, so it was starting to get dark. And I do not remember making the trek to the next person's house. I remember walking outside of this guy's house and ending up teleporting in front of the next location. Like I just fast traveled or some shit. Bars are fucking crazy. I do not recommend doing Xanax or any benzo. Stay clear of these. And I just have to preface, out of any drug, this is the one I regret the most. But anyways, we make it to the second location and we knock on the door. And at this point, we're even more fucking barred out. I don't know how we ended up making it there. And I don't remember any of the fucking walk. So we end up making it to this guy's house. We knock on the door and he lets us in. And we just start chilling in his living room on the couch, and he turns on Deadpool. And it was me and my barred out friend, and the guy's house we were at, he had his buddy there as well. And they're drinking on some Fireball. I remember that clearly. They were drinking on some Fireball. It's one of the few things I remember actually from this occasion. But he cracks open the Fireball, he turns on Deadpool, and he offers us liquor. Now, I am barred out of my fucking mind and I'm incoherent at this point, but even at this stage, I knew drinking liquor was a recipe for disaster, if not fucking dying on this guy's couch. So I kindly refused the liquor. But my bar-tard buddy is very happy to hear he has liquor and starts sipping on it. Now, this guy turns on Deadpool, and I'm just here sitting on the couch, nodding in and out of consciousness as my buddy is doing the same, but with a cup of Fireball in his hand. Now, he turns on Deadpool, and I remember watching it for about 5 minutes. Now, I nod my head back, and I take a little snooze, and I assume about 15 or 20 went by, and I open my eyes, and I see the fucking credits of Deadpool. It's like time did not exist, and I just fast-forwarded it about 2 hours, because I don't know if I was conscious during this time, or if I was just snoozing on his couch. But I remember looking up after what I thought was 10 to 15 minutes, and the movie was over. It was fucking insane. Now, I didn't know at the time of this event whose house I actually went to. I didn't remember. But about a year after this occurrence, the guy's house I went to, I actually knew. And he sent me a video of myself sitting on his couch just nodding in and out of consciousness. It was kind of fucking hilarious to see, but, you know, that's not funny. That's not funny. We don't do Xanax. That shit ain't funny. Anyways, so after Deadpool, we pack up our things again and we decide to hit the road. My buddy's telling me it's getting late, he has to head on home, and I'm telling him the same. So I pack up my things and I start making the trek home. Now, you think the story would end here, but it does not. So I am barred out of my fucking mind walking home. I don't really know how I managed to make it home without getting hit by a car, and this is why I say that. Because at one point, I'm about 3 blocks from my house. This is probably a mile walk to my home. And I am standing, keep in mind, it is dark out at this point. Excuse me. I am walking in the middle of the road with my eyes closed for about 30 seconds. And then I kind of snap back to reality and realize what I'm doing. And I open my eyes and look around. And then I realize, yeah, let me walk on the grass so I don't get fucking slaughtered by a car. And that is exactly what I did. Now, once I got home, I opened the door and I immediately went to the couch in my living room and I sat the fuck down. Now, as I'm sitting down, I'm barred out of my mind still, knocking in and out of consciousness, and my mom comes downstairs. Now, you think I would get in trouble, probably get grounded for being barred the fuck out and drooling on myself. But my mom sits down next to me and starts a conversation with me. Now, I can't remember any fucking second of this conversation. I can't remember anything we talked about. But what I do remember is my mom was drunk as fuck. She was shit-faced drunk and I was barred the fuck out. So we're having the most degenerate, brain-churning conversation that I could ever imagine, I bet. We were 2 fucking idiots drooling on ourselves, having a conversation like a great mom and son duo, you know. One's off the bars and one's fucking 1 shot away from alcohol poisoning, you know? And as we're having this conversation, my older brother walks in, and I see him walking with a basketball. I assume he was hooping or something, and he just kind of looks over at us and gives us a glare like, what the absolute fuck is happening? I can't imagine what was going through his mind when he walked into the door and saw me barred the fuck out drooling on myself, trying to stay conscious, and my mom just rambling to me absolutely shit-faced. What a duo, I would say. So eventually, my mom and I end the conversation. I don't know how long we were talking. I don't know what we were talking about. I don't remember anything to do with that conversation except for that it happened. Now, my brother eventually pulls me away from that conversation, probably to spare his last remaining brain cells having listened to it. And he tells me that he's trying to get weed, but he cannot find a plug, and if I know any. So I throw him a few plugs, and it ends up that we do not get weed this night, unfortunately. I just remember my brother yanking out a Black and Mild. We go outside and we're smoking that. And I'm just fucking chief on the black, and I'm nodding in and out, and I pass it to him, and I let him know that I have to tap and I have to go lay down in my room. So I do just that. I go to my room, I lay down, and I wake up the next day about 16 hours later, just absolutely puzzled about what the fuck happened the day before. I had to contact my buddy who I was with that was barred the fuck out as well, and he only remembered bits and pieces himself, but he reminded me of some of what happened. I then asked my brother, because I completely forgot about the whole black and mild and talking to my mother incident, but of course he remembered, and he told me all about it. And yeah, I had the best fucking sleep of my life. And after I went to sleep, my brother kept chiefing this black and mild, and he ended up getting super fucking nicotine sick and had a horrible night, and I was having a great sleep. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a thumbs up and subscribe, and let me know down below your experience with Xanax if you have any, and let me know what videos you guys want in the future. Thank you guys so much for the support. I love and appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.